It's only the second time I'm ever making this. Will I succeed, or will I get shanked? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is week in country number 78 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every country in the world. And tonight we're up to the nation of Iran. Iran, located in the Middle East, a rather large country, is on the shores of the Persian Gulf, the Gulf of Oman, and the Caspian Sea. Surrounded by 7 other countries, has one of the world's most ancient civilizations and cuisines. Its cuisine has influenced people from as far away as the Russian tradition, Greek, Central Asian, Middle East, Northern India, and Pakistan. There are a multitude of dishes across its broad cuisine, many of them involving versions of lamb, chicken, and fish, usually served alongside various preparations of rice. You'll find a variety of local fruits and nuts used, particularly pomegranate and walnuts, and one of those is involved in one of the dishes we're cooking tonight. Now tonight we're doing 2 dishes, one of which we tried before, which I hope in some way will be indicative of what you might find in Iran. Fingers crossed. Trying my best here. But we have to see how things went when we tried this last time around. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I was cooking lamb shanks for only the second time in my entire life, and the first time with this kind of preparation, and it kinda came out okay. I made a lamb with pomegranate and quince sauce, which is what we're making tonight. The lamb was okay, although it was a little bit on the tough side, and there was a lot of tendons involved, which I found kind of disappointing. And alongside that, I served the Persian rice with lima beans dish, which involved that crispy crust you're supposed to get with the rice. I got a little bit of the crispy crust going, although the dish seemed to be a little bit heavy on the lima beans, and that really wasn't my favorite thing. I did manage, though, to cook for 2 nights, and for the second night I made a Persian stew with dill and herbs, and well, I kind of messed that one up pretty badly because I messed up the herbs really badly, and that was really disappointing. Although I did serve that with a really phenomenal salad, which was very easy and super delicious. But like I said, tonight we're doing 2 dishes. Once again, we're doing the lamb shanks with pomegranate and quince sauce, although we're hoping to do it better this time. And since I didn't really love that rice dish and I wasn't really sure about its authenticity, I went with what's supposed to be an authentic recipe for Persian rice this time. Let's see if I can follow instructions right. But in terms of the lamb shanks, the specific recipe calls for 4 lamb shanks. They're very expensive and there are only 2 of us eating, so I only made 2 and I wound up with twice the sauce, which is okay. Also, the recipe says to remove all visible fat from the lamb shanks, and either I did that too much or not enough. I'm not really sure. But now we have to see what really goes into those dishes. First, for our Persian lamb and pomegranate quince sauce, we'll need 4, although we're actually using only 2, lamb shanks, visible fat trimmed off, 2 tablespoons of butter, half a small onion sliced thinly, 2 cups of pomegranate juice, half a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 cinnamon sticks, 1 teaspoon of ground allspice, 1 teaspoon of whole cloves, salt and pepper to taste, 2 tablespoons of quince jam, although we're actually using quince paste here, and the juice of half a lemon. And then for our Persian rice, we'll need 2 cups of basmati rice, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of crushed saffron. Okay, hoping this is good. Let's get cooking. In a large heavy pan, brown the shanks on all sides, turning them after 5 to 8 minutes on each side. Set aside. Pour off all of the lamb fat from the pan. Then into the pan place the butter and the onions and cook the onions for 5 to 8 minutes until golden. Put the shanks back in the pan and add the cinnamon sticks, cloves, salt, pomegranate juice, sugar, ground allspice, water. Cover and cook on low for 1.5 hours. Check the pan once in a while to check on the liquid. It should be halfway up the side of the lamb. Add juice and water at a 2-to-1 ratio if the lamb still needs time to cook. And cook for 10 to 15 minutes more if necessary, but don't overcook. When the time is up and the lamb is falling off the bone, remove the shanks and set them aside. Then, to the sauce, add 2 tablespoons of the quince jam, and simmer until reduced in half. If the sauce is too sweet, adjust with lemon juice to bring back the tang. Optionally, you can strain the sauce. Rinse the rice 3 times in water until the water runs clear. Place the rice in a 4-quart saucepan and cover with 4 cups of water, with an inch of water over the top. Add the oil, butter, and salt, and let sit for 15 minutes. Then bring it to a boil, stirring so the rice doesn't stick. Reduce the heat to medium-low and cover with a lid wrapped in a dish towel. Cook for 45 minutes, or until, as the recipe says, the bottom of the pot sizzles when the outside is touched with a wet finger. Then, carefully place the bottom of the pot under running water, as the recipe says, and let sit for 2 to 3 minutes. Then, in a small bowl, mix the water and the crushed saffron. Scoop out the rice onto a serving platter. Remove a half cup of the cooked rice and mix it with the saffron water, and sprinkle it over the platter of rice. Were there a layer of crispy rice, you would remove that with a spatula, and you'd serve the crust, or tadig, alongside the rice. Serve the rice family style. Plate the shanks. Pour some of the sauce over the shanks before serving for shine. Serve the rest of the pomegranate sauce alongside. Wipe plates and serve. How did that all go? Well, it wasn't bad, but I really was disappointed, which is disappointing. First off, on the lamb shanks. This makes only the 4th time I've ever actually cooked lamb shanks, only the 2nd time doing it this way. And the lamb was kind of chewy. It wasn't really tough, but it really wasn't the fall-apart tender I was looking for. And I'm not sure if it was because I removed too much of the fat or not enough, or exactly what happened. My lack of experience will kill me someday. Although on the plus side, it did have the wonderful flavors of that sauce. The pomegranate and quince sauce was really delicious. My only complaint there is that because I used the paste and not the jam, there really wasn't quite enough of the quince flavor. Still, it was really great. I'm gonna give the lamb shanks and pomegranate and dill sauce 3 out of 5 globes, 4 out of 5 for the recipe, 3 out of 5 for the execution, and that's kind of a my fault thing, but I really need to learn how to do this specific thing better. I'm sorry. On to the Persian rice. On the plus side, it tasted really good. It had that really strong flavor of the saffron. It was nice and fluffy and very aromatic, and it was very salty. That recipe does call for a lot of salt, and that is kind of how I've had it in Persian restaurants. However, total fail on the crispy crust stuff, because there was no crispy crust to be had. I'm guessing this has to do with my execution and my choice of the specific saucepan, and perhaps something to do with that method, which was supposed to be the right method. Again, my lack of experience will do me in. I apologize to all the Persian people of the world. I really wanted to try to make this really great. I kind of like that Persian rice though, so I'm gonna give that one 4 out of 5 globes. If I had done that crispy crust rice, it really would have been a 5. Again, my apologies to all of Iran and Persian people around the world. I do not mean to insult anyone. Well, that does it for Iran. So next week we cross the border to have the food of Iraq, and it's gonna have the world's oldest recipe too, so check it out. And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen every Tuesday night, be sure to follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live. Like and subscribe if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food I'm cooking, please feel free to sound off in the comments. Remember, links to the original recipes can be found in the About section. And if you like what you see, share it. It would be nice. Till next time, thanks for watching and happy eating!